Hello guys, Inslayerclone here, friendly neighborhood incel, back again with another video, back again, in this prison, like some would say. Man, I'm back on my classic bench that I used to make my videos and stuff, and like sitting here in 2025, because this is truly the original Inslayerclone bench. Now there's like a tree that used to be here, it's now just like fallen down and shit and rotting away, I guess that's how time flies, haven't been here, sitting here for many months and stuff, and things change, someone could be alive in 2 weeks, nice and healthy, they could be dead in like 2 weeks, and I think that's what hiding in rooms like Dad and shit happened to him. It was all nice and perfect, when hiding room was there in England, and for the Christmas, and then 2 weeks later he's like fighting for his life and stuff. So anyway guys, today I want to talk about 10 years being 10 years too late. So I'm not being 10 years too late, of course. Maybe in some areas I guess I could be 10 years too late, but for the most part, what topic I'm talking about today, being 10 years too late, it revolves around being like part of the incel community, black pill, that manosphere stuff, most normies now awakening up to people like us existing, in this realm, So what sparked to make this video today? Wow, I have practically only an hour left, until I slave away for my work shift, I guess. Well, I think a couple of days ago, my sister asked about if I know Andrew Tate and the incels and the black pill and stuff. I just outright said no. Of course. Why am I going to tell her that, Oh, I actually do know Andrew Tate and stuff like that. I can understand with Andrew Tate and shit. Andrew Tate's he's kind of a famous individual and stuff. I mean, I just said no because, well, they you try get into what do you call it, semantics and shit. Well, I only saw this video and then it will ask more questions. Just say no. Don't try and what do you call it? Try and entertain the idea and stuff like that. That oh well, this, that, and the other and stuff. About this semantics and stuff. I only saw on TikTok and all that stuff. So the pecking order will start going down, isn't it? Just say I never heard of him. That's pretty much what I said. Probably you've heard of him. I've never heard of him. So, and I do believe that she 100% believes that because, like I said, I mostly play video games and shit and stuff. That's what people believe. What I do on the computer or whatever. I'm just one of my friends on the computer and stuff. Gaming and shit. But in actuality and stuff, I'm actually doing something else. You gotta put the famous on it. You can't fucking tell. You can't give leverage to your own power. I mean, that's what the elites do anyway. I mean, the elites literally outright lie to you, about a political party, a process or religion and stuff like that. Many of these so-called religions and stuff, they're already lying to you anyway, just so they can get your money or get your will to continue going to them for their energy, right? So why am I titling this video 10 years too late? Well, if you guys don't know, if I learning about the incel community, the black pill community, whatever internet communities out there and stuff in 2025, Elliot Rogers and all that stuff, I mean, it's already over and stuff. I mean, the people, the normies and stuff, trying to we must deprogram, Generation Z men and boys and stuff from Andrew Tate, from black pill narratives and stuff like that. It's over. It's over, mate. You had 10 years to freaking actually come to debate. and actually talk about these stuff, you know. And I mean, I guess they're trying now to talk about, have a discussion and shit, but actuality and stuff, you know, you can't really change an idea and stuff at this point in time. Once the idea becomes like that, it is what it is, you know. It's either you know, people may come to their own conclusions and change them from themselves, or you know, or like, you know, they have like to some like, you know, mass programming like you saw after like World War II in Germany and Japan, you know, which they probably would do. Actually, I don't believe them. They'll probably try and do that, but I think that's even failing themselves, because like I said, the media is, it's like, you know, the media at this point, the mainstream media are like, they're not like, you know, trusted sources, right? They're not like what do you call it? What's the term? They ain't someone that you would go towards if you want to get told the truth and shit. Get told about, you know, about the realities of things anymore. They're just there to sell you what the master is saying, right? About the information, right? Disinformation is, I guess, that's what I'm pretty much trying to say, you know. It's like, you know, the whole idea of like, you know, you got all these people now saying that, you know, the pandemic was a scam and stuff, you know, stuff like that. I mean, why should I care now? I mean, when it was actually happening, you know, when things were actually, when he needed to be around and stuff to talk about these stuff back like 5 years ago, where were you and stuff? Oh well, the government, I complied with the government and stuff like that, you know. And you know, I wasn't like, you know, asking questions. I was just like, well, you know, they said I have to do this, I have to do that, you know. I was not like, wait, thinking about why am I doing all this for, you know. In 2025 now, people just starting to realise, oh well, yeah, you know, saying these people, it's already over for them, you know, right? It's already over, you know. I mean, it's technically already over anyway, for me anyway. If I have to look at it from a logical perspective, maybe it's not really over for me, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Like, if you start to think about narratives and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was already over for them, because why? Because they're already, when they're needed the most, they're not here, you know. Right, when they've been tested, truly tested, not like the ones they test you on the knowledge and stuff, so you can be a working member of society and stuff, like, you know, like maybe like the GCSEs or whatever, some like degree and something, A levels, whatever, you know. Oh, do this so we can now get you into the like workforce and stuff, you know. Now I'm talking about true, like, you know, test movement, right? If everyone's doing this, do the opposite. I mean, that's what I mean about when I'm talking about a real test. Most people, you know, they ain't doing that, you know. Yeah, most people are not really doing that. They're not really, like, you know, truly thinking from their own personal belief systems, their own, like, you know, from their own, like, you know, from like their own life story and shit, right? They just follow because they say to follow and stuff. So yeah, like my sister told me about Elliot Rodgers, maybe not Elliot Rodgers, but no, Black Pill, Andrew Tate and stuff like that, Incel. It's like 10 years too late, mate, you know. It's like, why he should have been talking about that stuff in 2016 or 17 and shit, or even 2018. Now we don't have that. Now it's kind of too late now and stuff, and it's like, what are you gonna do about it? You can't really stop. You can't put the toothpaste back in the paste back in the toothpaste, whatever. I don't know what they call it. The milk is already spoilt, you know. Right, the Pandora's box is already open, right, and stuff. So And that's what I mean. And it's not my fault, you know, at the end of the day. It's not Andrew Tate's fault, it's not anyone's fault. It's like, you know, the media, 9 times out of 10, it's the media and the boomers' fault. Because, like I said, when people had actual concerns, you know, just like you saw, like, you know, like you saw last year, you know, in England. I'm not going to go in Britain, you know, see, I'm not like going to talk about extensively because, you know, I still got to, like, you know, I still have to preserve my channel and stuff like that. But, you know, with the UK, like, the rioting that happened in 2024 and stuff, you know, people are talking about, oh no, saying how could this happen and all that. Well, I mean, when you ignore people and stuff saying things and stuff about their communities and stuff, you ignore that people. Of course, stuff like this is gonna happen. You know, it's just logical reasoning. You know, it's just logic. You know, from a logical perspective, right? I mean, most men in 2020, from like the 2010s, 2000s, have been ignored. You know, they've not been given a fair shot. Now it's now manifested into, like, you know, to people, to stuff like entities and stuff like that. I mean, to be honest, it's always been there since. I mean, do I agree with Andrew Tate top to bottom? Of course not. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says and stuff, but, you know, what I'm trying to say, guys, you know, that the people right now and stuff, oh no, Andrew Tate has a monopoly over the youth and stuff, you know. Young men are getting programmed to think about women this way and stuff, and they don't see them as human beings and shit, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, it is what it is, man. You know? It is what it is. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, and you look at these people that are anti-Andrew Tate and stuff, and you go in their pictures, like, you go and see their lives. I mean, this guy, I think, it's like on this British, like, YouTube show, whatever, left-wing British YouTube podcast, news media show and shit. It's Michael something, I don't know his name, second name and shit. I mean, go on his Instagram and stuff, he's like, you know, dating a dude, and it's like, what is this for? He's telling me I should side with, like, you, right, instead of Andrew Tate. Of course I'm going to side with Andrew Tate, you know. I'm not a homo, you know. And let's just keep it at short temps, you know. Don't want to get a strike, I guess. So, I mean, to truly know someone, you just look at their Instagram accounts and shit, you know, and what they post and stuff, you know, right? It's like, you know, let's just say a black woman, right? If a black woman hates white people, you go on her Instagram, if she's dating a white man, you don't really know the reason why she hates white people and shit, you know? Right? It's like, you know, it's like the meme, right? You know, that meme and stuff. I hate what I can't get, I guess, you know. You know, all these, like, leftist, you know, left-wing individuals and stuff, they hate white people and stuff, but they're dating white men. So it's like, what's this agenda about and stuff? So, you know, like, you know, AOC is the same thing and stuff, you know. It's like, you know, how can I say and stuff? It's like saying, well, you know, I don't really like McDonald's and stuff, or KFC and stuff, but, you know, you just go there every day and stuff, you know. But behind the scenes, you enjoy McDonald's and stuff. It's like, you know, that scene with Squidward when he ate the Krabby Patty, right? He didn't like the Krabby Patty, and so he tried it. He liked it, and he hated it. But in actuality, he actually likes it and stuff. So, but anyway, guys, I want to keep this video short because, you know, I just want to say what I want to say and stuff, you know, and, you know, many of these people now, you know, they're coming out on the woodworks, you know, my personal family included. I think Renegade once said himself when he was alive and stuff, you know, don't trust your family members, you know, that's the last thing you should trust, you know. I mean, of course I respect my family members whatsoever, but would I trust them with my existence? No, right? Not not even, you know. It's not like cause I'm just some angry individual. I'm not, definitely far from it. I just know that if you truly trust someone and shit, you know, like friendships, what most people call it themselves friends, right? But they're not really friends. They're just friends because it's like, you know, what's the term? Fun and games and stuff. Fun and games, like, you know, there's no like, you know, it's just like, you know, we're having fun, you know, talking and all that. But when actually push comes to shove, push comes to shove. When, like, you know, when you're like, you know, beaten down and defeated and shit, these be around you. You know, you'll have to figure out yourself and shit for your own life and your own existence and stuff. That's what I mean. You know, a true friend will be like behind your side, even if, like I said, you're getting like, you know, cancelled by the media and stuff, or getting like, you know, targeted like by scandalous lies and stuff. You know. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video, quick video and stuff. You know, just something in my mind that I need to get off my chest, I guess. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about it and subscribe.